Karis W.
And
nice to meet you.
Do you have a resume for me?
Yes, I do. I also have a cover letter. Would you like one of those? Here's my cover letter. Just to make sure that the things I'm passionate about or belief get noted somehow if I miss it in the interview.
All right. Well, tell me a little bit about yourself while I look through this.
I am a senior at Nyack College, majoring in intercultural studies with a concentration in sports management, which Nyack College does not have. I got that from doing 2 years at Liberty University, playing Division I lacrosse there. Took a semester off and did some work with Surfing the Nations, which is a nonprofit organization designed to better the area of Wahoo. And then I came back to Nyack to do intercultural studies because I realized missions was where my heart was at. So, yeah, I'm here and yeah, ready to be finished with school and on to the next step.
Can you tell me a little bit more detail about your intercultural experiences?
Well, I've been to a number of different countries. My first missions trip with Nyack College was in 4th grade to Jamaica. That was pretty transformative. That was when I experienced my first wave of culture shock, coming back to the United States and just really feeling overwhelmed by just how much we had and the way that children would treat their parents and all that kind of stuff really just floored me. So I have quite a love for different cultures and helping people who can't stand for themselves and just being that bridge in the middle to connect them.
Have you ever worked with refugees?
I have not, but it is a desire that I have to reach out to people who have been, who have had just a lot of bad things thrown at them.
Talk a little bit about your passion about culture. How do you go about showing your sensitivity to somebody else's culture?
Well, I think it starts with studying the culture before you go there. You can't just jump into a place and expect to have it all figured out. So just having a sensitivity to the beliefs, having a sensitivity to the different roles that men and women play, and just going in with a learning mindset instead of I'm going to teach you everything type of mentality.
All right. Along that line, can you give me an example of, oftentimes when we go into new situations, we have expectations of what that's going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
And have you gone into a situation where you had expectations and then found it was completely different and had to change on the fly? Can you give me an example of that and how you handled it?
Sure. Those are actually my favorite types of situations. At Nyack College, personally, there's a class called Cross-Cultural Adjustment, and the entire week is a situation just like that, where we have no idea what's to come. It's measuring how you adapt to culture shock, and you have a team with you who also has no idea what's going to happen or where you're going to go, and it's just a great measure of your ability to let go of control and just adapt to your surroundings, which is one of my strengths, is spontaneity, and which is also a weakness in some areas, to drop something and just pick up where someone else has left off, or to yeah, to be able to adapt to the situation.
What challenges you the most about other cultures?
What challenges me the most? Probably learning the languages. I think
Do you speak any other language?
I'm learning Spanish as of now. I'm open to them, but yeah, when the opportunity presents itself.
What gives you the most delight about other cultures?
I would say definitely the people, just the way that they embrace you, the different ways that relationship is heightened in certain cultures or hidden in others. So the warmth in Spanish cultures, for example, and the way that they welcome you in and treat you like family, that is so desirable to me because I personally feel like that's the way that I was raised, and that I don't really have the American it's all about me mindset, but I would love to be a part of a culture where they just treat everyone as family and you're all a team.
As you start to think about this job, what do you think your greatest work skills that you bring to the job might
be? Leadership, the ability to step up and do what needs to be done and take initiative, take control over a situation and delegate tasks to other people in a humble way without stepping on other people or making them feel that that I'm better than them or something.
Can you give me an example of a time when you organized something and carried it out?
Well, just last year I was a private swim instructor for children ages 9 months old to 5 years old, and also a lacrosse coach for girls in 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And I ran it all on my own and learned the skills from doing 6 years of swim lessons and instructions with a group, and then being asked to do it on my own. So just picking it up out of nowhere and going with the flow of it.
Good. Do you have any questions for me about Moline or about the job?
Yes, I do.
You know where Moline is?
Yes, Illinois. I wanted to know where your refugees come from exactly and what type of situations that they're being taken from.
Over the course of the company's history, they've come from everywhere there's been displaced people. And they don't necessarily come just from one area to one area. Oftentimes there's a group that comes and another group that comes from another area. So now there's a lot of displaced people from Syria and Iraq. But there were displaced people from the Japan disaster. Anytime there's a natural disaster like that, there are displaced people, but wars as well. So yeah, it varies quite a bit.
Wow. Okay. In what ways do you involve the local church? Because your website was saying that you work with the local church to help serve the vulnerable. But I was wondering if you could give me an example of how they do that in Illinois.
Yeah, your job would be to coordinate all of the volunteers from all the local churches. It's a little different than the East Coast. Going to church is more normal, and serving in the church is a little more normal. So we really have a lot of volunteers from that area. There's 4 little cities that are right together, Davenport across the river, and a couple of others right beside us. And there are a lot of churches, which makes it a really excellent area to get a large volunteer force to help people settle. So, yeah, we use everybody from Catholic to Pentecostal. So.
Nice. Okay. And then one last question. In the area of community, what emotional and spiritual support do you provide for the staff?
Well, World Relief is a company that is Christian, and so there are things within the company, within a small group that happens to be in Moline, that they do together and pray together about. And there are prayer requests that come in from all over the world for the company, and so that's probably the focus that we would have in the company. We don't really have a spiritual director or anything like that for the company. The other thing that you probably would be involved in is, as you work within our little town, you would also get a chance every once in a while to go overseas to see some of the work in different places around the world. So we'd like to get you to understand what's going on everywhere else, so you know where those folks come from that you minister to.
Excellent. Sounds really cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to be a part of it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Gareth.
It was really nice talking to you.
Yeah.